Hey, well, I'm going to try something today, and I've never done this before, but I don't see why it shouldn't work. I've seen things similar to what I want to do for sale, and what I'm going to do is make a self-watering device for a pot, and hopefully this is something that'll give continuous water to whatever plant is inside my pot for 2 or 3 days at a time, so I don't have to really worry about it dying if I miss a day, that sort of thing. And usually when you find these at the store, it's a glass bulb with a long spout on it, and you fill it up with water and just jam the spout in the soil, and gravity pulls the water out of a small orifice, and the negative pressure inside the bulb keeps it from all just running out. Um, so what I'm going to do, I guess I could go out and buy one of those things, but why not just make one, right? So I've got the lid here, and I'm going to very carefully put a hole in it. You want to be careful with this. You don't want to let the screwdriver buckle on you or anything because it could poke a hole in your hand. Have I done that before? Maybe. Well, at any rate, I got to make a hole through it, through this lid. Okay, and I'm going to make this hole just a little bit bigger with these scissors. And as you can tell, I'm not pushing with anything at all. I'm just using the scissors to make the hole wider, not deeper. And right now, the hole is probably not quite as big around as the shaft of the screwdriver. And we'll see if this even works. You know what? I'm going to cut off this little tip here just for appearances. This little ring, I'll recycle that. And I already took the label off of this. I just think it's going to look pretty, even if it's a plastic bottle. I don't think it's going to look ugly just as a clear plastic bottle, but with the label it might. And I want my garden to be pretty, not only edible, but pretty. And I'm going to fill this most of the way. I filled it up to about the shoulder, as you can see. And what I'll do, well, first of all, let's see if it's even going to drip out. Well, we'll see how much it drips out. Well, there was a drop. And I'm thinking as the sun hits this, it's also going to cause the air on the head to expand. I see bubbles coming up and drops. This is probably going to work fine. But what I'll do is once I put this in the soil and it's upside down, I'll make a mark where the level was with a Sharpie, just something inconspicuous out of the way, but that I can see. And it'll tell me if the water's going down at a certain rate, and I can judge if my plant's getting enough water or not. As far as the do-it-yourself things go, I've also got some more eggs the other day, and I'm going to start my beets in here. I started the okra, it's over there in that plastic egg carton that I did the other day, and this is just going to be beets. And I don't need to make holes in these because this is just cardboard. It's probably going to start trying to fall apart on me after a couple of weeks anyway, but we'll see how it goes. So, see you soon. If you remember the other day, I made this little planter with a little water catcher out of a bottle the other day, and I just stuck a little tree weed in there to see if it was going to go, and sure enough, it's still alive after all these days. I haven't done anything. As a matter of fact, I only gave water to it today. But let's go out back and put that other thing in, and we'll just come back to the garden here. And we're back here at the box, and as you can see, I've got that little bottle there. You can get an idea for how big a hole I put on it. And I'm just going to stick that in the ground right here. make a little hole, put it in there, fill it up a little bit, straighten it out. There. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little mark with the Sharpie right there. And that tells me what the water level was at. And as you notice, it's bubbling. Water's going into the ground. I just hope it's not going to be too fast. I think that the air inside the top of the bottle is already heating up. It's only been in the sun about 2 minutes, so apparently it's going to work. Haven't seen a bubble for a few seconds now, so maybe it's stabilizing. Maybe it was just kind of soaking up the ground around the nozzle, but we'll follow this for a day or two and see how it works. I've come back here after about 2 hours, and if you notice, that bottle's empty. So maybe a smaller hole, huh? Okay, I pulled that bottle out and I've refilled it with water, and I'm thinking that the ground was just so dry that it just sucked up all the water. So I'm going to saturate this, and I'm going to saturate the area around it. And the whole idea is to see if when the soil is ideally moist, or when it already has enough moisture, it won't suck quite so much water out of the bottle so quickly. And this is just a test, it's just a test to see if this keeps the ground saturated, or if I'm going to have to make a smaller hole or change things somehow. So this is what science looks like, I guess. Okay, and as you can see, it's right there. I accidentally swung away for a minute, but there it is. And it's got about as much water as it did before. Let's see, it's got a little bit above the line, but we'll see how this works out this evening or by morning.